All right, so this supervisor comes to me. This is before we had tight systems to report and just catch things in a timely way. And he comes to me, he goes, this thing happened with Donnie. I was closing with him and I was like, hey, Donnie, like, can you mop a little faster? Like, he was going so slow. And he's like, no, if I go slow, I get paid more. And Daryl and I were just looking at each other like, we don't understand. Like, how is this person thinking? Because he's literally saying, like, I'm working the clock. That's time theft. And also, most people, when they're closing, they want to get out of there. And you want to do a good job. You want to be efficient. And that's the kind of behavior that we're rewarding. So Daryl was really bothered by this, but I hadn't heard a single complaint from other supervisors about Donnie. So I went one night in on the shift that usually he worked with a supervisor named Kathryn. And Kathryn has had absolutely nothing negative about Donnie. It's like she would say, like, he's great, everything's fine. So I went in and I realized, yeah, Donnie doesn't do anything. He works super slow. And Kathryn, meanwhile, is running in circles around Donnie, doing all of his work, right? Because it's a two close shift. And so, she's supposed to be doing the drawers and he's supposed to be doing most of the cleaning. And then she comes out and helps him when she's done with the drawers, checks the list, makes sure everything's done correctly. But she was just doing everything. And I sent Donnie home and basically he was done. And I had a conversation with Kathryn, and she had just decided that it was easier for her to just do his work for him than to tell him he needed to work harder. And in that situation, basically, a lot of times we're willing to tolerate things ourselves that we wouldn't, like if it was our kid or our best friend, we would tell them, no, set a boundary there. Don't tolerate that. You deserve better than that. Like, you shouldn't tolerate that behavior. You're just going to be surrounded by that behavior forever. You're worth so much more than that. But then we'll go into that situation and we'll tolerate that behavior. And we really want you to value yourself the way that you would value someone else. So have good standards with people. And also, it's not okay for you to let other people inherit your messes. If you tolerate a behavior with an employee, something like time theft, or there's some kind of chronic behavior, you're giving that person to someone else to deal with. And I'm going to come in and be surprised, or your superior is going to come in and look at that employee and go, is that normal? Like, and then we're going to look at you and go, is that normal? And if that's normal, that's actually, you're the one responsible. And that's why all we ask you to do is just report the information. Not everyone has had a lot of experience confronting issues. So we're not asking you every single time to confront things, but you have to tell us what's going on. If it's anything that you wouldn't want that happening to someone else, just report it. Report it in Slack, report it right away.